We are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Today we have a very special guest here at, what are we at, 2 p.m. What an amazing day it's been so far. We are joined today over here by Isaac Bardos. And Isaac's got something fascinating to share with us today. The three strategies that service businesses are using to have their most profitable month ever. And I know a lot of you are maybe a little bit worried because of the difficult times that we've been going through, but the truth is that we can all thrive even through these times. Now, to give you a little background on Isaac, Isaac's got a background in psychology, human behavior, and performance, and he spent a lot of time figuring out what's going on inside your business that's working well and what's sabotaging your business growth. And today, he's going to share some of what he found out and some processes that you could put into place in your business. So without further ado, Isaac, the floor is yours.
All right. So can I just get a chat? I like to, when I found out that it wasn't going to be able to see everyone, it was actually really hard for me because I like to socialize with people and see people. So can I just get in the chat? Like, where are you guys logging in from? Love to see your names, and we're going to have more fun today if we have more people kind of engaging. So I see about a dozen people or so who are on the call. So if you guys could just share kind of, where you're logging in from and what's your business, just so I have an idea. That way I'd also be able to speak to your business, so speak to you rather than just talking, because I'm not here to just talk to no one. I'm here to talk to you. So just share what's the business that you have and where are you logging in from? And we'll see who's actually going to win the prize for the most engaged on today's call. All right, and while you're doing that, I'm going to pull out my slides. Can everyone hear me? I don't see anyone in the chat, so I'm going to jump in about 20 seconds if I don't see anyone messaging in. Anyone here? All right. Thank you, Jake. Okay, run digital marketing agency. Awesome. Anyone else? It's just Jake and I on the call. I get it. There's some amazing. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to some of the amazing people who spent money and time getting this event together today and getting this incredible platform set up and speakers and the programs and all that. So I see Tivia's here, Avi's here. I know Jake was involved with the Power Entrepreneur helping out. I saw G on the list, G Orman. So, I mean, these are the people I see on the call that I know Shia Rubenstein was also very involved, and Jewish Entrepreneur, with Robert Safraning, the group. Like, you guys did an amazing job. So just first of all, if you see them around on the virtual platform, or that you see them in the lobby, right, the virtual lobby, or even if you just want to send them a message on LinkedIn or social media or email them and just say thank you, I bet it would mean the world to them. And the truth is, they've done a tremendous amount of time and work. I've heard some of the behind the scenes of what was going on in some of the meetings and planning and getting things ready to go. And it really, really is impressive. So just give a thank you. You never know how far it can go, but it definitely would take you further than not saying it. I guarantee you that. So I want to share, there's three strategies that I've been seeing that many people have been having a difficult time with. What do I do and how do I change things? And I remember literally just over 3 months ago, I think it was actually March 15th, I teamed up with someone and two business coaches, and we gave a higher level view of what COVID's going to look like, what's going to be happening. And it's pretty, I feel very grateful that when I looked at that webinar recording the other day, I'm like, wow, every single one of those things were dead on. And the fact that I followed my own advice led me to successes that I haven't had before in my business. And those same strategies are the ones that led many of my clients to having their best months ever. Not best months in a while, not best months in the last 12 months or 3 years, the best months ever. And what I saw when I started looking around at other clients and even colleagues and what their clients were doing, at the service businesses of 6 and 7 figure revenue sized businesses. This is what I saw. I boiled it down to 3 specific strategies that I saw they were consistently doing over and over. And I'll share with you personally, it's been the best 3 months of my business that I've ever had. And for most of my clients who've been utilizing these 3 strategies, it has been their best 3 months as well. So this is amazing stuff. And I'm excited to see that those of you who are on, and I'm going to, hi, Yehuda, thank you for messaging. So for those of you who are on, what we're going to talk about is what those strategies are, but also why is it that most people aren't doing this, right? These are 3 revenue cash generating strategies. Why isn't everyone talking about this? Where were all the leaders and the business coaches and the people who had successful, service businesses? Where were they 3 months ago? Where were they at the beginning of this versus where were the people that you and I maybe never heard of? And now they've been having their best months ever, and they're actually stronger than the competition that were really way ahead of them before COVID started. And how can you use that to get ahead of the 8 ball? Because the truth is that we all know that COVID's here. But when you can start to realize that COVID is here, which means that if you fast forward down that timeline, you scroll across that timeline on your phone, you fast forward that video, you know what's going to happen? COVID's going to be over. There's going to be a period called post-COVID. And there's going to be business during that period of post-COVID. And there's a question. My question I want to ask you is, where are you going to be post-COVID? Where's your business going to be post-COVID? Is it going to be in that place that it was last March or maybe in April where you saw a lot of other people who were just kind of shut down, freaking out, scared, frozen, not sure what to do? And here they are just as stuck as COVID is leaving, as COVID is letting up, as the business world is starting to change and people like competition, your competition, is starting to figure out what to do better, differently, or new. And the truth is that there's the same money in the pot. It's just a matter of what's your market share going to be. It's not like there's less or different amount of money in the world than there was 3 months ago. If anything, you would say that there's more. There's been billions of dollars poured into the market by the government and by multiple governments, right? Multiple countries did that. So there's more money than there was a year ago. There's more money than there was 3 months ago. There's more market share that you can have if you're doing the right things to grab that market share. And to be honest, that was the most valuable topic that I could think of when people have been asking me questions over the last 3 months. That's it. Like, how can I get more leads and make more money? And how can I do that during a time when many people are still scared and uncertain and unsure what to do, including people that you might have looked up to, including people that were in a position where they felt like their business was resilient as anything, right? It was actually amazing. I love that the group who put this together, they called it resilience, because that was the number one point that I was highlighting 3 months ago on this webinar, that most people have not built a resilient business. And so the 3 strategies we're talking about today have to do with what actually builds a resilient business. So it's not just that it works for now and maybe tomorrow, but it works today, tomorrow, and then hereafter, right? Soon after this is going to be over. And these are really timeless strategies. And when you see businesses that were freaking out or scared or unsure what to do, or clients were pulling out and they were canceling projects and people were wondering, what do I do now? You want to know why that was happening? For 3 reasons. And we're going to talk about those 3 reasons because those are the 3 strategies. So can I get some feedback on the chat? Is this landing for you guys? Who's still awake here, right? Give me some engagement here. And again, the more that people have just logged in since we started this, the more that you share about your business. So we ask people to share where they're logging in from and what business they have. When you share that, I'll be able to speak to your business, to your company, or what it is that you do, because I have a better understanding of what that is. Okay, so here I'm going to pull up the slides. Still getting used to this whole platform, this amazing Excel events thing. All right, let's see. How do we pull these up? Share. I assume it's share a file. Is that right? Share a file. Okay, so I don't know how to do the share a file. Is the share a file working? Is it not working? Just want to get some feedback from the chat, make sure people are still alive. I'm not just talking to myself here. I mean, it's nice, but I'm not at a virtual event to talk to myself. Okay, so I'm pulling this up. Let's see. All right, so I'm doing a screen share. There we go. Amazing. Okay, so can you guys see the screen? See if can you see it now? I'm just going to start calling on people. Okay, Dovi, can you see my screen? How about G or Morty or Shaya or David or Chaya? Anyone can see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Now we see it. Amazing. Okay, so that's a picture of me in case you guys didn't know. I do ask that if you get some value from this, that you don't copy, right, or take screenshots because it is proprietary. It is stuff that I put together. So, you know, I really want to hear, like, what is your top challenge now? It looks like this got cut off a little bit, so just work with me. You know, please work with me. So, what's your top challenge right now? What is the top challenge in your business? Thank you, Chaya. I appreciate that. So, what is, you know, if you could leave this call today, right? We only got a few minutes together, unfortunately, but if you could leave this call today and you could have something answered for you, you could have clarity about something, what would that number one thing be, right? And I think this is super important for us to get really clear about what is your intention of being at this event, and specifically when you clicked join to join this presentation. Like, what is that number one thing? And for many people, you might think, well, there's so many things. And the truth is, well, that could be why you're not maximizing the productivity or actually getting the outcomes that you want at the speed that you want them, because you feel like there's so many things, right? How many sandwiches can you eat at the same time? Now, if you're like me and most people that I know, it's just one. We're not built to eat 5 sandwiches at the same time. Even if you have won the hot dog eating contest, right? You're built to eat one thing at the same time. You can only dig your teeth in and focus in, ideally, really one thing at the same time. So what is that one thing? And if you don't want to share on the chat because you want it to be anonymous, that's fine too. But just kind of write down, you know, piece of paper and pen, the old magic thing. You remember this, like old technology stuff, right? Pen and paper. So what is that one thing for you? Selling to clients who are uncertain about the future. I love that. I love that. And I'm so excited to share this with you because selling to clients who are uncertain about the future has been the thing that has been a struggle for many service business owners over the last 3 months. And the truth is, the last 3 years, maybe more so, right? The challenges that showed up over COVID. I want you guys to write this down. There are no new challenges. The current ones that you had before this were just magnified. There are no new challenges. They were just magnified. Whatever challenge you might have had, even in a small way, it didn't seem like it was a challenge before. It existed before, and COVID simply sprouted that and magnified what was already there, right? I've spoken to dozens and dozens and dozens of business owners over the last 3 months. I have not spoken to a single one who I have not found that their current challenges from COVID, resulting from COVID, did not exist in some shape or form before COVID started. Whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's how do I manage my employees, right? Could you imagine if you had difficulty managing and figuring out how do I leverage, how do I get the most dollar, the ROI from my employees? If you had struggled with that, or that was a question you had before this even started, could you imagine once it was remote, once there was questions about payroll, and once there was questions about, okay, well, how do I use my PPP and all, right? It only got more magnified. It got more complicated. Jake said time management was skewed schedule during these odd times. Yeah, totally. Right. And actually, that's going to be one of the things we talk about. I love that you guys shared that. See, I just want to reward, right? Those who participate are the ones who are always part of the race, right? If you're passive in this conversation, you're passive probably in other aspects of your life or other aspects of your business. Or if you're kind of half in and just an observer, there's probably other aspects of your business where you're just kind of half in and half an observer. So is that how you want your clients to see you? Is that how you want your clients to see you as a potential service provider that they're thinking about hiring? Well, I don't know. They're kind of passive. Should I hire them? Are they going to be that go-getter who's like bold and brazen and ready to make things happen for my business? Right? How you do anything is how you do everything. How you show up here on this call, how you show up with your clients is really how you show up in all aspects of your business. Amazing. So Chaya said, developing an alternate additional media platform when Instagram isn't as strong as it used to be. Nice. See, I love how that was so clear and so specific, right? So the clearer you are about that challenge, the clearer you are about how to solve that challenge. Before I was doing coaching, I was working in healthcare, right? Specifically, I was getting my doctorate in physical therapy. And one of the things that was really amazing, that was such a beautiful segue into what I do in business coaching, is that the clearer you are in the diagnosing of what is the problem, the clearer you are, and the faster you're able to solve that challenge. If someone came in and said, I have a terrible shoulder problem, I'd say, well, let me get clear on what exactly that shoulder problem is. Is it only a shoulder problem when you're banging it against the wall, then you have a terrible shoulder problem? Is it only difficult for you or challenging for you when you're moving your arm this way, or punching bag 400 times a day? Like what exactly is that problem? What's the challenge? So the clearer you are, and I love that you were clear about that, Chaya and Jake and Sivia, right? The faster you're gonna be able to develop the solution. So let's move forward. Let's see how we do this next. Okay, so usually these are the 6 things that I see, right? New leads, not sure what to do or change, not sure what to pivot, right? The productivity, how do I work from home? These odd times, like Jake said, right? And how do I get my own time management? How do I figure out, how do I literally master my own 24 hours, which all of us have the same 24 hours, but somehow some of us seem to get more done in unstructured format, right? The same unstructured time that we're all thrown into. In the same 24 hours, some people get more done than others. And like Sivia said, client attention and client retention. How do you sell people when they're scared, right? If you think about it, in the animal world and the human world, we have something in common, which is when we get scared, we fight, freeze, or flee, right? So there's different ways of saying it, but there's actually a fourth one, which is feed, right? When people get scared, they also start to eat, right? Just look at who hasn't been posting on Instagram recently, and you'll start to see who's probably been choosing the fourth one, right? Right? There's a lot of jokes that were going around about like people feed, right? When they're scared, because it helps give us that certainty. It settles our body, relaxes ourselves. So how do you speak to the core issues of your client and feed their fear so that they're willing to move forward and work with you? All right, does that land for you guys? Is this resonating so far? Is this like, my gosh, this would be so much better in person. It's so difficult. It's such a challenge, but we're working with it. Okay, so 3 specific strategies. So what I really would love for us to do is I would love for us to talk about ways that you can create a predictable flow, right? How can you get those high value clients, high value for you? And again, if you're selling a high ticket item, a high value item, something that has multiple, either thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars, then how can you create that predictable flow? And that was a real big question that I consistently saw people asking me over the course of when COVID started to really grow, right? And now we're looking at a lot of uncertainty over the next few months, right? I know in Florida, the statistics are going up. COVID rates are actually increasing. Many states that we're starting to open up are actually having increased COVID rates. That's scary for some people. Or maybe the fact that it's scary is actually an opportunity, right? I always teach my clients that your biggest obstacle right now, and whatever it is that obstacle is, your biggest obstacle in your business is your greatest opportunity in your business. It's a matter of seeing how do you bridge the 2 gaps? Because usually you think obstacle is the opposite of opportunity, and then no further from the truth. Because when you start to see how you can turn the COVID economy and help your clients see that what's going on right now is your golden ticket. It's actually a golden ticket. Most people are thinking this is time to, fight, freeze. What was it? Fight, flight, freeze, or feed, right? But it's time to get scared. We close in, we shut down projects, we run away, we close our budget because we just need to survive. And what happens? If you look at those companies that were just trying to survive versus the companies that said, oh my gosh, this is time to thrive. We're jumping in. We don't even know how to swim, but we're going to figure out how to swim. COVID raised the level of necessity so high for myself and for a number of service business owners. And those are the ones that are actually thriving right now because they saw that COVID was actually not the time to get scared. They saw that a lot of their competition was leaving, and that was the time to jump in and actually take more market share, right? There are small service providers who are right around the 100 or 200K mark that are now triple that 3 months later, right? I'm one of them. I'm speaking to you from firsthand experience, right? My last 3 months have been triple profits from the same 3-month period that it was last year for me. Triple. I'm speaking firsthand, right? And I'm sharing with you I'm going to share with you some of those things that I was doing. And the first step was actually seeing that I could turn COVID and the economy that was showing up into my golden ticket. I saw it as an opportunity. And so if you share with me till the end, I'm going to share with you an opportunity where we can help you customize all the things we're going to talk about. Because we're going to talk about some general, but we're also going to be talking about how you can customize this into the specifics of your business. Because that's what it's all about. It's about taking the idea, making it grounded, making it applicable, and running with it, right? And by the way, it's not just me who did these amazing results. I'm going to share with you someone else, one of my clients who actually did the same thing. But first, I just want to kind of introduce, who is this guy, right? I know some of you guys have just been logging on the last few minutes. I know some people are going to be joining us because as sessions are finishing, people are popping in. So basically just a little bit about me. Basically, I'm a business coach. I help business owners of 6 and 7 figure service business make the best business decisions. So they stop wasting time and money trying to just figure it out, right? How many people do you know, maybe even you, who wasted time and wasted money trying to figure it out over the last few months? Or maybe it was just in March and April that you were just trying to figure it out. In May, you're kind of testing it out. The warm waters are getting a little bit warmer. You feel like you got your feet right now. But I guarantee you that if you're a part of this event or you're on this call or you're looking to grow your business and it's not yet where you want it to be, you're still trying to figure it out. That's what I do. I help people figure it out. I'm also a husband, a father. This is my 4-year-old daughter. That was us on the beach last year. And last but not least, it seems like we're all Jewish on this platform. And I think it's so important for us to realize that it's in these times where there's uncertainty that is the time for us to call on our faith. And we forget that because we kind of see faith is like in Shul and learning and in the Gemara and and Parsha, faith is over here. But when you can pull from your faith and realize March 13th, right, when schools got canceled in Florida and everything was starting to change around, I'm going, oh my gosh, what is going on here? When clients start to cancel and there's a second wave of COVID that may or may not be coming, it's realizing that it's time to pull on our faith. And one of the fastest ways to do that, one of the only ways to be effective at that, is to have a system where you know what to do. But it all starts with understanding that you have the ground 3 things that we're going to talk about. And it's part of the system that I developed of helping business owners who felt that they got stuck and equipping them with these strategies. Okay, so let's get into it. So first thing is the first strategy was understanding that this is an absolute golden opportunity. There's a golden window, and understand that this is not just my opinion. This is not just things that I've heard. This is factual. If you look at the 2008 time, the people that were not millionaires beforehand, but actually used a down economy, a recession economy for opportunity, saw opportunity when stocks were down. They didn't see the economy as down. They saw stocks as 50% off. Could you imagine you walk by your favorite clothing store or your favorite restaurant or your favorite whatever store, and in the window of this place it says 50% off? Do you see that as, oh my gosh, that's terrible, I should really run away? Or do you see that as, it's a sale, that's amazing, I get to have my favorite food for half off? I get to buy my favorite stuff 50% off, no questions asked? That's opportunity. That's not an obstacle. So either you can see it as, oh my gosh, there must be something wrong. Why is it 50% off? I should really be cautious. Or you can go, listen, I know this is good. I know my business. I got confidence in my competence. I just don't have confidence in how to implement it right now, right? But there was more millionaires that made their wealth in 2008 during this time than there were I'm talking proportionately. right? Proportionately. During 2008, post 9/11, during these times of uncertainty, post .com boom, and you look at these numbers, you realize that they saw that there was other people contracting, other people closing in more than any other time. And they said, this is my time for expansion. This is my time. If you look at when Warren Buffett made some of his key investments, just look at the history. He made them when other people were running away. And when he made them when other people were running away, he said, when people get scared, I think it's his quote, or something like, when people get scared, that's the time to buy. Because when market goes down, that's when you're buying stocks at 50% off. That's when people are making services, making offers that are unavailable at that price, or people have become more available. I have a business attorney who's a client who has been able to access people who are the heads of large companies who are inaccessible. They were traveling, they were speaking, they were visiting the office, they had corporate meetings. Now they're at home. They've been at home for 3 months. They've been able to get their attention, get on the, here's a bonus one, get a virtual lunch, buy these people lunch, send it to their office. There's so many restaurants that are delivering. Get on the, send them a message, say, hey, I'd love to have a virtual lunch with you. What's your favorite place? And what would you like? Lunch is on me. Just give me your address. Right? What's the best address to send it to? Let's hop on 30-minute call. Boom. Are they going to say no? Who else is sending them a virtual lunch? It's incredible. Right? And if they're not available this week, they're available next week because you are standing out. Because when you see that it's not an obstacle, people aren't available. Well, guess what? Actually, people are available. Just maybe not the same ones you're trying to reach before COVID. There are new people available. There are more people available. Right? So when the market contracts, you have to decide to make an exponential, an opportunity for growth. Okay. So when uncertainty increases, that's when you position your services as essential. Did you notice at the beginning of this, we were starting to kind of categorize like who's essential, what's essential, food's essential, medical providers are essential, but like some people are essential, some people aren't. Right? We started seeing that businesses had to close that weren't essential. But guess what? If you're a service business owner, you can position your services and you get to decide if you're essential or not. You know who really decides it? Your clients. You know who helps them decide whether you're essential or not, whether they should invest in you and your services at the price that you want them to invest in uncertain times. You know who guides them in that decision? That's right. It's you. It's you. And you help them see that it's a golden window, right? So that's the biggest piece. So here's the thing. I'm just going to be really honest. Most entrepreneurs that I've spoken to, I've been doing business coaching for 4 years now, full time. Almost, actually, it's crazy. It's like last month became 4 years. It's like amazing how time flies. Most entrepreneurs are looking for the magic pill, right? What's the strategy? It's just going to be that one thing. It's boom, right? Like my business is just launched off the earth, right? 2 weeks ago, right? Those 2 astronauts that launched into space. Do you think there was just one thing they needed? And then all of a sudden it worked? Or maybe they built enough of a system, tweaked some of those pieces, and then realized, now we just need to add the fuel. But if you add the fuel without the rocket that's built, you're not going to get to space. It's going to be a catastrophe. And so most people had a lot of rocket fuel. They had put their money into marketing. They put their energy into Instagram. They put their energy, their eggs in one basket. And then people said, oh, you have to diversify. Okay. But right now, I don't know how to diversify because everyone just went running when this whole thing started. So if you're on this call looking for the magic pill, the answer is there's no magic pill, but there are magic strategies. There's no one thing that will do it. There's a group of things that will do it. There's a group, a system of things that will work for you. And there's parts of your company, right? If you work, let's say work in marketing, very often, you'll need help most with marketing. You'll tell me it's sales. You tell me I need a magic bullet for sales, right? And it's super valuable for me, but really the biggest issue that you have is actually in marketing, right? I've actually been just 3 days ago, I was talking to someone who, not 3 days ago, it was 3 business days ago, which was Thursday, right? I was talking to someone who has I think it's $700,000 revenue. She has a marketing company. And she said to me, the biggest challenge has been sales. And I showed her that it wasn't that. Right? Your part of the magic pill, part of figuring out what the next strategy is realizing if you want more leads, it's most likely not the problem that you think you have that is really your problem. If you're looking to grow your business and get more people in the pipeline, get a solid pipeline, or people are leaving the pipeline, it's most likely not that you need more leads. It's more likely that you need to tweak something to get the right people in, or once they're in, to get them to close and to guide them to take ownership of your services in a way where you're moving these people towards taking the actions that are good for you and good for them, right? Assuming it's a good fit. And so if you want more leads, the first thing that you need to have is you need to let go of your fear. When you see stocks going down, when you see clients withdraw, and then you feel like, oh, I have less money now, right? Because they're pulling out. Or I have, Instagram is not working as well as it needs to be. Fear can consume you, or it can consummate you. It can be that thing that fills in the gaps when you turn it from fear into power. Because fear and uncertainty make everyone want to fight, flight, and freeze and feed. But as soon as you realize I'm making a decision that I'm going to move forward with a fearless mindset, I'm going to look at my obstacle as an opportunity. That is the first thing you absolutely need to do. And there's a few ways you can do it. You can look at fear and say, everyone's freaking out. What should I be doing right now? Right? That's one of the things you can do. By the way, is my audio better? I totally forgot about microphone. I'm super sorry. Is that better? Right? I'm not perfect either, right? I'm still learning. Here I am giving the presentation, right? And I'm supposed to have the mic and the video and everything set up. And I do Zoom calls all the time. I've been doing video calls for 4 years. Zoom wasn't fresh to me. And here I am still learning. Like my mic, I have an external mic and it wasn't even in front of me. So hopefully that's better audio for you guys. All right? Just give me some feedback if it was. Maybe, yes, no. Right? So fear is a decision. Fear is a choice. It can either be that thing that you freak out, or, right? This is one of my favorite quotes. It can say, forget everything and run, which how many people did you see do that? How many clients? Rescuing sounds phenomenal. I learned from my 4-year-old daughter. Thank you very much, Jake. Right? So forget everything and run. That's how most people respond to fear. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Or you could say, face everything and rise. And if you look at those that are having those successful businesses right now, if you look at those that are doing something to build a resilient business, that was literally a keyword. And I'm happy to share with you the recording if you guys want, right? That was a keyword of the webinar that I gave 3 months ago, is building a resilient business. Resilient means that if business is struggling right now, you've built something that's rock solid. It's not a fair weather business, which means when things are going great, business is going great. But when things aren't going great, then business isn't going great. That's a fair weather business. When it's sunny outside, things are great. And so the first decision that you have to make, the first strategy that you need to have in place, is to see the obstacle as the opportunity, to make a decision to turn your fear into your power. Because guess what? You know what your marketing is about? Your whole marketing is about guiding your clients to see that you have a solution to their deepest fears. That your service is a solution to the things that they fear most. But you can only do that when you're not also stuck in the fish tank called fear. If you're swimming around in the same fear fish tank that they are, you're seeing things from the same perspective. Right? The Gemara tells us that a prisoner cannot free himself from his own prison. Meaning, if you're inside the box, you can't free yourself from inside that box called fear, where clients who are leaving or scared or trying to leave or pull out of projects, or where people who are maybe on Instagram, but it's not as strong as it used to be. If something's not as strong as it used to be, we shouldn't get scared. We should see that that's opportunity. There's less competition. The ad spending, right? My clients I actually have clients in e-commerce, right? My client said, you know what? Like, this is incredible. Facebook and Instagram ads were both less expensive. Paid engagement was actually less expensive than it ever has been in a number of years for some of them. At least that's what they said. And that's incredible, because they, instead of seeing fear, they saw the opportunity. So make that decision to move to say, okay, if I was going to approach this from a place of fearlessness, how would I do it? And so I don't know if you guys can see this, the words in here, but basically one of my clients I changed her name to honor her request for confidentiality, because I have confidentiality with all my clients. She said, like, I want to touch base with you. I hadn't heard from her since March, right? We set a number of strategies in place, COVID hit, and then she ran and implemented in those strategies, right? Because we talk about timeless strategies. She tripled the amount of business that she closed over the last 3 months. I told you, it's not just me. What did she do? If you look at, this is last Thursday, she sent me this message. She said, I feel like the last few months I've been implementing and internalizing. I made a lot, and I mean a lot of internal changes personally and in my business, right? I was extremely limited as far as capacity. She's got 4 kids, right? She's a mom, which means she's running 4 day school programs, right? While dealing with all this. And she's trying to figure out, right? How do I take care of my family? How do I take care of my business? How do I scale this? People think that it takes more time to grow your business. It doesn't take time. It takes courage. That is the biggest lesson that most people had to learn in COVID. Is number one, results don't take time. In COVID, they take courage. Because time isn't something that we have the luxury to wait for. What kind of business? So she has a marketing company. Now she has a marketing agency. Before this, she had a very good marketing agency idea. Right? 6 months ago, it was an idea. Now she has a company. Now she has 3 employees. Before, it was kind of just like a half an employee, right? So, but she also made these changes, and she climbed several rungs higher. All of it in these first 2 paragraphs started inside here and inside here before she saw the outcomes outside here. Every single one of those first things. And now, right, she was able to build that rock solid foundation. And on top of that, we constructed the marketing strategy, which I'll share with you in a moment. What's the marketing strategy that we used for me, for her, for many of my other clients, right? But she said, I've realized the internal changes will, in the long run, catch up and be reflected. Meaning I'm not yet at the 2 million revenue mark, but I see I'm going there. I see now more than ever, I have that clarity. Most people have the opposite thinking right now, right? Most people have the opposite thinking back in March. But she pushed herself in ways she didn't even imagine. And she gave herself permission to be fearless. Y'all, that's what I want you to see here. She gave herself permission to dream, to actually see that what I actually want, what my clients want, what's possible is actually still possible. COVID didn't make things less possible. It made things more possible. It made it possible for families to be together in the evenings. It made it possible for people to spend time together in ways that they haven't in years. It made it possible for me, my client, and many other people to actually triple their businesses in less time because they were being smart. And we're going to share with you what they did, okay? So this is a little bit about her, right? She tripled her business in the last 6 months. Actually, it was the last 3 months. I should update that. And now in the last 2 months, she made over 100K. Over the last 2 months, guys. The last 2 months, right? That means in April and May, she made 100K. She didn't make that before, in 2-month periods before. And I want to emphasize something. I was simply the Yoda. She was the one who did the work. Okay? Triple my profits in the last 3 months, triple my profits compared to the same 3 months last year. Like, what I'm telling you works. The first piece was fearless mindset. You have to have fearless mindset. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? So I have a system that I use with every single one of my clients. It's got 5 pillars. The first one is a mindset upgrade. If you want to upgrade your revenue, you want to upgrade your influence on clients. If you feel like you're out of control, like you're not in control of your business or in control of your revenue, like sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, right? There's that periods of feast and famine, up and down and up and down. And it's exhausting. You can't be present for your family or your children or take risks or try new marketing strategies when you're feeling like up and down and up and down. It's too uncertain. You can't structure your time and say, okay, here's how I'm really got my game face on. I'm really focused, when you're so distracted by the fact that you're up and down. But when you have a fearless mindset and you say, I'm not going to worry about what everyone else is doing. It doesn't matter who else is on that chat of other people who own a similar business in my industry. What they say is their story. That's not my story. That is what Hannah started to do. She saw people who are more successful than her, who are saying things about what's going on. People are pulling out. People are unavailable. I don't know how to structure my time. My kids are not, fill in the blanks, right? Whatever it is that you would say. And so she got really fearless about, no matter how many obstacles are thrown my way, I am going to blast right through this. and she had the support to do it, right? So faith over fear. Realize that right now you might be on that cliff going, this is COVID, right? This is me, right? I don't know if this lands for you guys. This really, really resonated with me. But decision number one is choose faith over fear. Choose the opportunity over obstacle, and make a decision where you're moving forward and you're not looking back, right? I was an NCAA athlete. I competed actually in 2 different sports in NCAA when I was in university, and one of them was track. And the number one thing they tell you is, even if you're not the fastest runner, never, ever, ever look back behind your shoulders. Because if you look back behind your shoulders, then you start to question yourself. You actually slow yourself down. When you make a decision to move forward, you see what's in front of you and you keep moving. Okay, so that was strategy number one. You create your own reality. I had a story for you guys, but you'll have to reach out to me if you want the story. So the truth number two is that people are actually still buying, and people are actually buying more if you position it properly. And the key is messaging. If you speak, guys, this is a writer down, okay? When you use the language inside the mind of your clients, they credit you with having the solution to their problem. If you use the language inside the mind of your ideal client, they also credit you with having the solution to their problem. So your messaging is absolutely key, right? So I'm going to go back here. I said before at the beginning of this that if you guys share with me what kind of business you have, I can share with you and make this more applicable to you. So I see a number of people logged in since I said this, so feel free to write in, right? But I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to pick someone. Oh, amazing. So I'm gonna pick on Sivia. I'm doing that first of all because she was the first one to write in, to take action, right? I think it's really important that we reward people who take action. She was the first one to write in when I made that opportunity, when I said to share that what it is that you're seeing, like where you're logging in from, what's your business, and also what's the top challenge that you had. She was the first one to write in. And also because she was a major part of organizing this. Guys, like the graphics that are part of this event, the website, the registration, a lot of the pieces, the visual pieces and the marketing pieces behind this is Sivia and her company. So give her a virtual round of applause, right? So I'm going to give her this one, okay? So she said before the top challenge was selling, get the words right, selling to clients who are uncertain about their future. That challenge is the message. That challenge has to be the words that you turn that into the words that you're going to use to speak to your ideal clients. Because if they want the dream of, I want to love to have the freedom, right? This is a picture of what I call Dream Island, where you got the hammock, you got the Caribbean, you got the beautiful Florida, whatever it is, sunshine and the beautiful water. You could just sit back, relax. When people are running away, there's a fear. When your messaging speaks directly to that fear, and you say, if you're uncertain about what's going on right now, if you're feeling uncertain about the future of your company, now is the time where you need marketing. Now is the time where you need my service for A, B, and C reason. And you show them what that is. And they go, oh, I thought we're supposed to fight, flight, freeze, feed. I thought we're supposed to just contract. But you can only see what they need and turn your messaging into the solution, the opportunity. Right? Your messaging is the opportunity for their obstacle when you have a fearless mindset. When your mindset is clean and clear and under control, right? That wasn't planned. That just came. So where's the wine? Nice shy. So the answer is the wine. I think it's actually under the hat. I think it actually might be a Corona, but that's why there's a hat over it. Because people are just, by the way, did you guys know Corona lost $100 million in sales over the first 6 weeks? Isn't that crazy? People stopped buying Corona. If anything, they wanted to actually enjoy the experience of when they actually drink Corona, right? I just think it's ironic. Interesting how the buyer works. Okay, so I'll share with you just a brief thought. Basically, in terms of your marketing, right? So we're saying speak their language. If you speak their language, they credit you with having a solution. So there's the third truth. Okay, here's the third piece that you have to understand. If you have a solution, that people are willing to pay you for, and they want what you have to offer, and you realize this is a golden ticket, and you've solidified your messaging and your mindset, the problem is that you would say, well, people are still not buying, right? And the answer that I would say to you is, people aren't buying if you haven't made the direct connection to what it is that you solve, but also you have to position your services as a solution, right? And then the next level of that is that you can't do it alone. If you haven't been able to do it yet, it's not good for you to do it alone. You need fresh perspective, whether it's an accountability partner, whether it's someone who can help you dial in your messaging, whether it's someone who actually can help you look at your time, look at your clients and dial in and say, what is it that you need and what is it that they need? What is it that are the stones that you've kind of just left untouched? What are the dollars and opportunities that you haven't seen as a real opportunity here, right? The first piece that I work on with many of my clients is I see that they're doubting their dollars. They're discounting their services, and therefore the clients are not signing up, or maybe they're withdrawing. They don't see inherently that right now there's tremendous value, and that if you're not investing, it's more expensive for you, my client, to not invest. So getting that fresh perspective where you also have accountability, where someone outside of you is saying, not only do you have this, but if you don't take this, you're giving it away to someone else. You're taking everything that you've worked for and you're handing it to someone else to give them your market share, right? That's what Hannah did. She realized that this was the golden ticket, but she couldn't do it alone. She had to have someone who was outside of her mind, giving her fresh perspective, helping her hone those pieces that were not yet the way it needed to be. And also help her with the management of herself, her time, or her team management, her time management, her mind management, and also giving her that accountability where there was now external deadlines as well as internal motivation, internal direction. You might say, oh, listen, Isaac, like I'm pretty motivated. Okay. That picture behind you, that also gets me motivated. I want one of those in a beach house in the Caribbean, right? I'll take one of that's motivation. And when the rubber hits the road, very often what's been slowing you down, what's been holding you back are the same things that are going to hold you back, and COVID's just going to boost that. Unless you have someone who's outside you going, hey, I see what you're doing. I see the moves that you're making or not making, and I see where you could be. And so strategy number three is to have someone by your side who's in your corner, who teaches you and shows you to hold the vision, not the circumstance. Now, it comes from a woman named Mary Morrissey, who's a coach for one of the people that I know. Hold the vision, not the circumstance. If you had a vision of where your business is going to be in 2020, like I did, like Hannah did, like many other people who are thriving right now in service businesses, they also had that vision. They let go of that vision when new circumstances showed up. And when you let go of that vision because of the new circumstances, you say, which one is more COVID? Which one do I give more COVID? COVID is the word weight. Which one do I give more weight to? Am I giving more weight to the circumstance and saying that now seems to overcome to COVID, right? To cover up, to be heavier than, to carry more weight or value than my vision? Or am I going to hold the vision, not the circumstance? Which one's going to be my perspective that's going to give me that fresh perspective, but also realize, lo tov lios adam levado, right? If you're going to create new revenue, look at the first thing that God created after he created man. He created a partner for him, right? It's been difficult for you thus far, then you need to have a competitive edge. And guess what? Many people who have been doing that, the people in my circles, the people that I work with, I'll be honest with you guys. I actually have 2 coaches that I'm working with. I'm paying them monthly, several $1,000s a month. And both of them I started working with in the last 4 months. Why am I spending more money? Because the answer is I see that I can only see as far as I can see, right? You can only see 2 miles, 10 miles, whatever your visibility is. But when you have someone outside that can help you have greater visibility, that's where you can fly. That's the key. So I want to make an opportunity. We're at the top of the hour, okay? But if you want to free up your time, you want to be clear about how do you get the attention of your clients? How do you get them to move along that pipeline that you have so they go from the first conversation or even just getting their attention into closing them? How do you navigate, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn or social media, paid marketing, any kind of marketing or any kind of any kind of sales opportunity that you have. All those are vehicles to get you the personal outcomes that you want, to get you the lifestyle that you're building this business to even have and to be able to enjoy. So if you want that, and you also want someone who can help you through that and help dial in these pieces. And again, these are just 3 pieces of a five pillar process. And this is just step 1 of those 5 pillars, right? Of a system that I've created that has worked for me. It's worked for Hannah. It's worked for many of my clients. And just for this short time, I'm happy to share with you more testimonials and more examples. But if you want to free up your time and be clear about how to use it and what to do with what you have so that you can get what you don't have, I want to make an invitation for you. So here's how I can help you. Okay. Now, this is not for everyone. Okay. But I saw this, a number of people on this platform that were signing up because they said, I want something more. So I cleared 5 slots to have deep dive one-on-one calls with people, right? And identify precisely what you need to turn COVID into your golden ticket. Now, I want to be clear. This call is not for everyone. It's really, and I'm not just saying that, like, it really isn't for everyone, right? I offer sometimes 15-minute connection calls for people that get some questions answered or they want to get some direction about something. Happy to do that. For anyone who's on this call, I can see the 29 people on the call. Happy to help you guys with it. What I'm talking about is a deep dive. I'm talking about where we can create the exact accountability and the system in what I call the revenue roadmap, right? The revenue roadmap is really it's really where we create that management, the accountability, the productivity. Because yes, everyone on this call wants to have better marketing so they can make more money in less time. But if you're feeling like you want to make more money in less time, then this is probably an opportunity for you. If you're also willing to invest the time and money so that you don't have to keep investing time and money, right? You don't have to keep investing what looks like to be resources that need to be refilled all the time, right? You need more time. I need to refill my money. The way to do that is to turn this into a golden ticket and take this golden ticket and turn it into a system that actually works for you, right? So I'm going to show you what I have. I'm going to share with you an example, right? So on this call, we're going to build out a roadmap, step by step, what it is that's missing, what it is that's your vision, right? Hold the vision, not the circumstance. What's your vision? What it is that you want? What's that gap? And how do you close that gap? Right now, happens to be, I'll be honest with you guys, I charge $397 for this call, right? And that call comes with a value guarantee, which is if you sign up for that 60-minute call and you don't get at least double the value, and I'll show you on that call, tangible value that's at least double that amount. And at the end of the call, you say, I didn't get the value. I give you while we're on the call, I refund your money and I give you the recording. And I'm so confident that I can do that because never on a call have I ever had someone ask me for a refund. Because I'm clear about what's that roadmap. I'm clear about where's that gap. And even if you just take this and now you have a roadmap, now you know how to navigate. Whatever that top challenge is for you, you're now well on your way to solving that. Is that worth an hour? Right? Think about how many hours you have spent wishing, or how many hours would have been better spent had you known what that roadmap was for you. So that's an opportunity. There's only so much time and only things that I can share, but I'll share with you what are some of the things that you can be using, whether or not you sign up for this call with me, whether or not you sign up to work with someone else. You definitely should be working with someone. Whether you pay them, whether you're not, that's up to you, right? But I can tell you one thing, that when you get your mindset that supports the version of you that can double or triple your business like I did, like Hannah did, like a number of other of my clients did. I'm happy to, again, share more testimonials, post a call, right? When you get that mindset that supports making decisions fearlessly, that's also a mindset that frees you up. That's the first part of the revenue roadmap. Frees you up from the same fears. And I know. Most of us don't go into this thinking, I have fears. I need help, Isaac. I have fears. No one has ever said that to me. No one has ever said that. Because we don't think we have fears until someone shines that light and shows us, here's where you're stuck and here's how I can help you out. Here's how you free yourself from this place that you've been trying to figure out, right? Trying over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So the second thing is also accountability, right? That regardless of what you do next, regardless of what happens when you get off this call, you need to have accountability. If you own a business, then you only answer to yourself and maybe your spouse, right? And if you're only answering to them, then you're basically self-taught and self-running. The problem with being self-taught is you're only as good as your teacher. The problem with being self-running and not having accountability is you're only as good as your own manager, which is you. So if you're looking to figure out how do you manage your time better, if you're looking to figure out how do I solidify what I'm doing so that I'm fully present, I'm engaged, I'm in full force. When I get on a call, boy, I got energy, right? By the way, after these calls, I'm more energized than I was before the calls. I'm happy to, if you want to know, if you just want to know that, you can connect with me for a 15-minute call. I'll tell you how I do it. But I invite you to just think about this, right? Accountability keeps you focused no matter what's going on. It keeps you top of mind and on top of your fears. You have that owner's mindset. And I invite you, right, whether you invest in this conversation with me, you invest with someone else that you need support on, right? We're just going to close out here in a moment. You need to work with someone who can help you get that, right? Expertizing your business, custom revenue roadmap, and a value guarantee. That's my offer for you guys today. If you want to know more, if you want to schedule, this is what it is. The Calendly link, I'll also share it in the feed. If you guys have any questions, and we'll basically, the next steps are basically that on that call, before the call, you'll answer a few questions for me to give me a sense of where you're at. We'll hop on the call. If it's a good fit, we can talk about opportunities together, but there's really no expectations. There's really no strings attached, because at the end of the day, I really like the people, and I have a lot of respect for the people who built this opportunity here, this program today, this virtual networking event, and this virtual learning event. And I said in the beginning, I think you guys should, everyone here, make a commitment, send them an email, send them a message, send you a major thank you. And each of these three, the recording's going to be up. Each of these three things are absolutely crucial. Every single one of the people who have been thriving during this time from March through now, and it's only continuing, right? It's been an upward movement, has had all three of these things. Fearless mindset, seeing your obstacles are truly opportunities. Number two, your messaging is clearly dialed in, right? And I know we didn't have a lot of time to go over it, which is exactly why I'm offering a call. But to protect my time, I only want to work and take those hours out of my day to be with people who are serious about really taking what we do. And even if you don't get value from it, no problem. Here's your money back. Not a problem. But at the same time, it's really important that you're also coming in and saying, I'm invested in me, right? I'm invested in my own business. I believe that what I have to offer is a valuable service. If you believe that, to book the call. And the third thing is getting that you value fresh perspective. Because if you don't value fresh perspective, then you can't say anything to your clients that are going to help them, because you're not going to be able to give them fresh perspective. A sale only happens when you give someone fresh perspective or inspiration. And just remember, last thing, I'll close with this. Inspiration. If all the things I said inspired you and you loved the strategies and what we spoke about today, inspiration without perspiration leads to exasperation. It's a matter of what you do with what you know. It's not a matter of how much you know.